We're talking about a lot of things on the Goggler Podcast. We're going to be reviewing Goat, Ready or Not 2, Here I Come. But before we get to all of that, it's only 4 months away, and we've only just got a look, a tease at what's coming in Spider-Man Brand New Day. I feel it's kind of late, but that tease, that 2.5-minute teaser, they packed a lot into that thing, and I think it delivered. However, before we get into the teaser, Bahe, I want to say this. Tom Holland did something before the teaser where they gave fans a whole bunch of short stills or short motion clips to release in the lead up to the teaser trailer release.
Yep.
I think that was the dumbest thing on the planet.
Oh, really?
Like, that really annoyed the shit out of me, because if you look at how they just dropped the Dune trailer.
Yeah.
Drop the trailer, boom, everyone's like, holy shit, Dune 3,
Yeah.
what? Meanwhile, I kept seeing just these still motion images, and I felt it was the most potong steam thing ever. Like, the teaser was so good. If they just released the goddamn teaser, I would be like, boom. Meanwhile, I get, oh, look, it's a recreation of Amazing Fantasy 15, and this cover, and oh, look, is that the Punisher, and blah, 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 and all of this stuff. And I'm like, none of this means anything. What for? Just show me the fucking trailer, man. That's all I want. It's Spider-Man. You don't have to do any of this shit.
Yeah. I get that, but at the same time, I also understand
I understand they want the likes and the shares, lah.
My thing is this. If you give it to Variety, why? I don't give a shit. Give it to TGV, why? I don't give a shit. There has to be a better way to seed those images. And I think you're right. I think if you're gonna do something like that, they have to be worthwhile. They have to be clips that are not in the trailer. Or they have to be
exactly
something. Yeah, but if you're gonna release those images 24 hours before the trailer, no point. People are not going to get excited.
You're right.
For example, none of those pictures came across me at all. Like, TGV Cinemas released one image, but I hadn't seen any of the other ones until the trailer came out, and then suddenly I started seeing all these images. So it's pointless.
For me, you're absolutely right, Bahe. They should have released stuff that isn't in the teaser, almost like a lead up to what we're going to get in the teaser. Because in this instance, it's no different from first look images.
Yes.
Which Entertainment Weekly will get an exclusive of, or Vanity Fair will get an exclusive of, right?
That's the thing. I think if they really wanted to, for me, honestly, if they really wanted to do a thing, they should somehow release it to fucking randos around the world. You know, like Bahe at whatever gets an email saying, hey, this is Tom Holland. I have an image for you. Share it. You know, I'd be like,
Zendaya's here with me.
But that would be funny, right?
Yeah.
If you start doing that 6 weeks out from the trailer, even if you release actual images from the trailer, because then I'd be like, fuck you, this is not Tom Holland, right? This is some Nigerian prince wanting my credit card or something. But I would have seen the picture.
Yes.
And then when I see the trailer, I'm like, holy shit, this is real. I think that would have been cool. I think had you done it that way, if you're just going to release, like you said, they just end up being first look images and becomes pointless. It's just like, we see that all the time. Most people ignore it. Nobody's excited.
The trailer, however, did look very, very cool. I'm very excited for this movie.
I'm not sold on the trailer.
You're not? Okay. Why aren't you sold?
Only because this feels like the Avengers thing, where there are a lot of really cool imagery, but I think they're just montages.
I had a feeling that might be the case too, because I feel like having Scorpion, Boomerang, and Tarantula all in one movie is that perennial Spider-Man problem of having too many villains in a film.
And also, is that the Hand?
It is the Hand.
It is the Hand, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so they're bringing in some Daredevil villains. Punisher's in it. Hulk is in it.
It's a lot. It really feels like it could be all those sort of cool, super slow-mo shots just feel like montage.
I'll tell you why I liked it, though. I liked it because it looks different from the previous Spider-Man movies.
Yes.
I thought tonally, color palette, I think the story that they're basing it on is an arc called The Other,
Oh, okay.
which is where Peter Parker is undergoing some mutations. In the comic
Interesting.
book, however, it is super complex, right? Which they cannot do in a movie. In the comic book, it is super complex, and he goes to see Banner, he goes to see Mr. Fantastic. Eventually, they end up in that area because he has to see Doom. Basically, he does a trip across the smartest people in the world. He goes to Wakanda, trying to find a solution to this problem that he's having. Obviously, they can't do all of that in this movie. And also, I feel they want to introduce Doom in Doomsday, so they're not going to bring in all these other characters, even though all of them now exist within the MCU. But
Well, to an extent.
the story is cool. And I think it looks like they're going in that direction. Yet again, I like that we're expanding beyond the origin story.
That was what I was going to say. We're getting to the point of Spider-Man where I don't know what's happening. And I
Yeah.
think that is cool.
We're
right?
just
Because-
telling a cool Spidey story.
Yeah, because like traditionally this would have been what? Film 5 if it ever gets to it, because they would have had to spend the first one introducing the character, the second one is the fall of the character. They had to do too much. Whereas here, because Marvel and Sony jumped straight in, we can move past the early faffing about.
It also feels like the first truly Spider-Man movie in the MCU. It's not tied into anything else. It doesn't have Strange and other Spider-Man, and it's really just focused on Tom Holland, and it's telling a Spider-Man story, and it is a Spider-Man story. It doesn't have to worry about Endgame and Tony Stark dying and all of this stuff, right?
There's no story baggage that he has to deal with.
Correct. So I'm quite excited for that reason.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So teasers got me excited. I'm sure there are going to be a lot more of these, and the movie's coming really, really soon. So fingers crossed, it turns out to be great. The director was also responsible for Wonder Man, and I really loved Wonder Man, and I also like Shang-Chi, so
I like Shang-Chi, yeah.
I think it's in good hands. If you haven't checked it out, the Spider-Man trailer is available on, well, everywhere. It's on YouTube, it's on Instagram. I have a feeling you're going to have a hard time missing it. All right, let's talk movies. What do we got? First up, we got a bunch of releases in cinemas. First up, GOAT, which is a brand new animation from Sony Pictures Animation. And it is essentially an animal basketball movie. Only it isn't basketball in GOAT. In this world, it's called Roarball.
Roarball!
Which, can I just say, Bahe, is a pretty cool concept because it's basketball, but then has all of these additional elements, like stadiums that kind of feature environmental bits.
Did you ever watch what was that one called? It's like, I'm doing air quotes right now, basketball but with like trampolines.
No.
Oh mate.
Wait, that's a movie or a real world
No,
thing?
it's an actual real world thing.
Right.
So basically the basketball air quotes court is covered in little mini trampolines. You're not really dribbling, you're just bouncing from trampoline to trampoline. But like Roarball, there is contact.
Nice.
Let me try and pull it up, but it's really silly and you might enjoy it for all of 20 minutes, I think. But yeah, you're right. This idea of a basketball court that evolves is kind of cool, and also like how each court is different.
So there's like a jungle court and an ice court and a lava court and all of this stuff, right? The movie is set in this fictional world, and it is a follow your dreams type story. It's produced by Steph Curry, and the GOAT in question is what's considered a little, and littles or smalls don't play Roarball.
Smalls don't ball.
Smalls don't ball. It's only the bigger
Yeah.
animals, the giant animals that can, dunk and do cool stuff, right? Kind of similar to basketball, where you've got to be like 10 feet 11 before you can make any leeway.
Yeah.
So that's the basic plot of it. And it is nothing new. We've seen this sort of movie many, many, many times. What I did find fascinating about GOAT, and I think it's a question of the writing and the performances and the way the whole thing was kind of drawn, I found myself really engaged with it. And I found myself feeling this movie. Like, despite the fact that I've seen a follow your dreams, you can achieve anything movie if you put your heart to it many, 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 many times, this one still made me feel things. And I thought that was really fascinating. Like, usually I would roll my eyes and be like, why isn't this on streaming? Why isn't this something you just plop your kid in front of for 2 hours to distract them? But actually, I was very engaged with all of these characters. Like, I really had fun at this movie.
I found the movie's pace extreme.
It is crazy fucking frenetic.
At one point, I turned to you and I go, holy shit, it's only been an hour. A lot had happened by then.
Oh yeah, when you said that, it felt like it was already in the third act, but it wasn't.
It wasn't. It really felt like it should have been wrapping up, but it wasn't. I will say, it may be frenetic, but it isn't like choppy shortcuts. So I appreciate that.
Yes.
I appreciate that a lot of the scenes played out well. I appreciate that the dialogue is very well written. The stories are very well written. I think it was maybe just a bit too much. I think they needed to slow it down a little bit. I agree with you. I think they do a lot of good with a lot of characters. There's a lot of characters in this, but they all played a role. So like, for example, unlike Zootopia, where the animals are sort of cordoned off from each other mostly, this is very much everybody is in everybody's space.
Yes.
And I like the way they dealt with that. But at the same time, there was just a lot of little elements happening.
I'll tell you what really worked for me, though. What really worked for me is the look and the feel and the movement of the show.
Yeah.
Because, like, it looks and feels and moves unlike anything you've seen from Disney or Illumination or whatever. Like, it doesn't look like Zootopia. The characters don't move like Zootopia.
Yeah.
They move like hip-hop. They move
Yes.
like they have a style. They move like they have a rhythm. And the look, I mean, that's all part of the Sony Animation Spider-Verse DNA, right? The animation looks unlike anything else. Like, we've come to accept Toy Story, Frozen. We've come to accept that aesthetic as 3D animation, as CGI animation. And these guys are out there doing some crazy shit. Like, even the world in which our main character inhabits, Will, they don't explicitly talk about it, but it feels quite dystopian, right? Like, not everyone has a place to live. He's renting a little garage space.
I don't know about dystopian.
It's not dystopian. I don't know what it is. It just feels, it's like Hong Kong. It's like everyone is on top of each other.
Yeah, but it also feels like it kind of feels realistic. He isn't in the upper echelons of society. He isn't even middle class. He is completely, absolutely lower class, right? He's working part-time as a delivery guy. He's playing basketball when everybody's not around. He's hanging out with his friends in a basement. It's kind of just that aesthetic. But there is something about that aesthetic. The vines on the buildings, the way the rain came down, it looked great.
Like, that's what really drew me into this movie as well. The look, like, every character looks distinct. Every character has its own personality and moves
differently.
Moves in a different way. It's really cool. Like,
Yeah.
as a whole, like you said, Bahe, it's not a perfect movie. And it does have its flaws, and it does feel very paint by numbers, at least narratively. Visually, however, I think it's vibrant and a class above a lot of the other stuff we're seeing. Like, a lot of the time nowadays when we talk about animated movies or we review animated films, it's very rare that we talk about the animation, because unless it's particularly bad, we don't mention it, because everyone's at a similar level now.
Yeah.
Like, everyone's good. Like, sure, Pixar does water and grass better than anyone else, but for the most part, everyone's okay lah.
My only comment with regards to the Sony look is that it's becoming a Sony look. For better or for worse, I can look at a frame and go, oh, that's a Sony thing. And I'm not sure I like it anymore. only in the sense that it feels like, oh look, this is a Sony thing. It looks like it must look like this. Whereas with Pixar, they can kind of mix it up a little bit. Their character designs look different. Their world designs look different. Whereas here, it just kind of all the paint splatter, the reaction emojis almost sometimes, the wipe and the swipes. It just feels a little too Sony. And I loved it when I saw it in Spider-Verse. But now I'm just like, oh, is this the Sony house style? And thus becoming more important than the actual content.
I'm still okay with it, just because it's so different from what everyone else is doing.
I agree.
I mean, Illumination is trying, or the Illumination people are trying to shake things up a little. Like, I thought Puss in Boots was very well done.
Yeah,
and then
no,
you
I agree. I
have
like Puss
the
in Boots.
good guys, or the bad guys. What was
The
the name of
bad
that show?
guys.
The bad
The bad
guys.
guys.
Yeah, and then you
Yeah,
have the
yeah,
bad guys that did a little bit of a hybrid of that sort of thing. That was all right. But for the most part, I'm excited to see how these guys continue to push the envelope and then push people like Pixar to do something different. Because I know Pete Docter, who leads Pixar at the moment, said in an interview that they too have some surprises with their upcoming slate. I think their movie Gato is going to look very different from what they've put out
Oh,
previously.
interesting.
And I think they
Okay.
too are trying some new stuff. So it'll be cool to see where that goes.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I did enjoy Goat. And I think your kids will love it too. I think Hoppers is the better movie. There are 2 animated films out now. We reviewed Hoppers last week. I think Hoppers is the better movie. It's the stronger film. However, I think your kids might like the action-packed nature of Goat. I think if I was a kid, Goat is the movie that would make me want toys. As a young boy watching Goat with the basketball and all of the action-packed sequences, I think that would be the movie for me.
Yeah, I get that.
I think Hoppers appeals to me on an intellectual level, and which is why I prefer it as a film. I think artistically it's a much better movie.
Yeah.
But take your kids to see Goat as well, because I think they will really... It's a thrill ride. I think they will really have a good time.
And I think that's what's important. I think both these movies, your kids will have a good time. Goat, your kids will be more excited, will be more up in their seat, I think. Hoppers will be more laugh out loud stuff, but also a bit of like peril and danger.
Yes.
Whereas Goat doesn't really have peril and danger. I mean, it does, but you know you're gonna win lah. It's a basketball movie. Your hero is an underdog. You're gonna win lah. It's fine.
Hoppers was completely unexpected.
Hoppers was unexpected. Yeah.
They did things in that movie I didn't think they would do narratively, and I'm still shocked
Yes.
by some of those things.
Yes. I also want to talk about how I like that in Goat, the superstar that our protagonist looks up to is a woman or female.
Jet, who is one of the protagonists, is a female panther who is the best player of all time who has never won the championship.
So I think in that sense, okay, sorry, let me go back. The game of Roarball isn't gender specific. Both teams, all teams have got female and male players, which is great. Angel Reese, who is a WNBA, pretty high-end WNBA player, she's in it. She plays a polar bear. Aja Wilson's playing an alligator. There's a zebra. So there are male and female characters here to look up to. Don't do the thing of like, oh, this is a boys' movie.
Oh, yeah, it totally isn't.
Basketball shouldn't be a guy's game.
Also, some phenomenal performances. Caleb McLaughlin from Stranger Things plays Will. Jet is played by Gabriel Union. I think the both of them give truly empathetic vocal performances that actually anchor the whole movie. And in a surprisingly fantastic move, Sony Pictures has localized some of the voices. And in this case, in Malaysia, Archie the Rhino is played by Zul Arifin, but actually played by Zul Arifin. This isn't them getting Zul Arifin to dub it in Malay or record one line and have a small little cameo. No. He replaces David Harbour in the Malaysian release for GOAT. And he's pretty fucking good. Like, it
He
sounds
was
great.
excellent. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, Zul Arifin plays an Indian rhinoceros called Archie Everhart. And he's in this fucking movie. He isn't an appearance, he is in the ensemble,
Yes.
which I thought was fantastic. And Zul Arifin was fantastic. I think there were moments where I had to remind myself that it was Zul Arifin, or rather, there were a lot of times I forgot that it was Zul Arifin. I was just like, went with it. Because, when these are done well, you can't really tell that Caleb McLaughlin is in it, Gabriel Union's in it, that Nick Kroll is a character, that Patton Oswalt is a character. They're doing voices, so it doesn't sound like Jennifer Hudson. It sounds like the character Louis Harris. And I think that's what works.
I think it's a very clever move on the part of Sony Pictures. I don't know which other countries have done it. I need to look it up. But I think it's a really interesting way to get local audiences excited, because normally they will give you a dubbed version. And I think a lot of the time, people don't necessarily want to watch a dubbed version. But I think there's something truly exciting about getting a local actor or local performer to be a part of that big ensemble. And also, we know how these animated movies are done. I mean, we've seen enough interviews where actors playing characters have never met each other in real life until the junket. Because they're just in a recording booth, recording these voices, sometimes 3-4 years before the movie actually gets released in cinemas.
Not only that, but sometimes months apart from each other.
Exactly. And so I think it was really well done. Look, it was great seeing Zul Arifin's name in the main credits of the film.
Yeah, that was really cool though.
That was cool. Yeah, so good for him. Congratulations to him. And go check out Goat. Take your kids. They're going to have a very, very good time at the cinema. Another movie that's opened this week is Ready or Not 2, Here I Come, which is a sequel to Ready or Not, which stars Samara Weaving. And if you remember that movie, I think that came out during the pandemic, right, Bahe?
2019.
Just before the pandemic.
Just before the pandemic, yeah.
So just before the pandemic. Man, that was a while ago. That was 7 years ago. Anyway.
Ages, yeah.
That movie came out. We had a blast watching that movie. Samara Weaving finds herself marrying into a rich family, and it turns out they're actually a bunch of psycho devil-worshipping cultists who have to play murderous games in order to fill some kind of weird line of succession and save their souls. Ready or Not 2 is more of that, but I think done in a very clever way, because it isn't just
again
the same thing again.
Yeah.
It isn't Smile 2. It isn't the same movie with a bigger budget.
Yes.
This one kind of deepens the mythology, builds out the lore, but also does it better than John Wick, because I didn't find any of that shit distracting.
It isn't an exposition dump. There isn't a point in the beginning where Samara Weaving's character going, what is going on? And then Elijah Wood goes, well, here it is. Let me
tell
break
you.
it down. Yeah, everybody get a drink because this is going to take a while. No.
This is the high table. This is what they do.
Because you know why? It really doesn't fucking matter to Samara Weaving's character. She's not wanting to join. She just wants to get out and survive. So where the history, the mythology, who slept with who doesn't matter, because she wants the fuck out.
And the way they picked up and found a way in, like a new way in.
Great. Yeah.
The movie starts immediately after the last one ends. She gets taken to the hospital because she's obviously won the game of hide and seek and killed everyone.
Yes.
Or rather, the devils killed everyone as well. I think one of the cleverest things about Ready or Not was the end, when it revealed to us that the devil is actually real.
Well, hang on. I'm not a fan of the devil, but let's not put it at his feet. This is a LaBelle problem. This isn't a devil problem. Credit where credit's due. This is LaBelle.
Right. So LaBelle is real, and the supernatural is real. And I think that adds an interesting element to this story, because now that everyone is dead in the first movie, there is a power vacuum, and there are a whole bunch of other new families from all over the world who are vying for a seat, if you will, and to lead this council. My favorite character in the film is Elijah Wood.
He's fantastic.
And he is like the devil's lawyer.
He's the legal department, right? Head of the legal department at the Devil Inc. organization.
Correct. And I think he's phenomenal, and he lays out all the rules and tells people what to do and puts this new contest in order. And the new contest is that once again, Samara Weaving has to fight for her life against all of these other people because they have to take out the person that killed that family. And the person who does it becomes the new leader of the council. And you've got a whole bunch of disparate, weird, fucking funny characters, right? All of that works for me. But I think at the heart of it, the reason this movie continues to be as fun as it is because of Samara Weaving. I think she is the anchor that really knows what movie she's in and how to play to it.
This sounds stupid to say, but the logic works in my brain. I feel like because Samara Weaving's Australian, she can pull this off without being one way or the other. She can make this movie fun. I feel like an American actress will make this be Scream, or will make this be I Know What You Did Last Summer. It will be too serious maybe, whereas like the land of Mad Max can give you a fun Ready or Not. I feel like. I don't know.
There's a great moment, there's a great showdown between Samara Weaving's character and her ex-husband's former fiance. There's an extended fight sequence between them.
Yeah.
And I think what you said really works in that sequence. It is brutal and it is violent, but at the same time, it is incredibly humorous and funny. Like she knows, and both actors know how to play that. And they know what movie they're in. And they know how to play that for both the brutality and the laughs and the lightheartedness. I think that's why this movie works so well.
I also want to just say the addition of Catherine Newton, also fantastic. You know what it is? These kinds of movies always have a follow-up where they're just raising the stakes or raising the explosions or raising the danger. Whereas here, with the addition of Catherine Newton, you're also raising the ability of your protagonist. So in the first one, it's 1 against 10 or whatever, right? Here it's 1 against 20 or 1 against 50, but it's 2 against 50. So that makes it more interesting. The writers can do more now.
The dynamic between the two of them is also very good.
Also very good, yes.
Very believable as sisters. The fact that they don't go too deep into the lore, the fact that they tease it, they give you enough to go off without the over-exposition, without feeling like they're plotting a spin-off. I think all of that makes this really well controlled and measured as a sequel. It isn't escalation for escalation's sake.
Yes, yes.
And there is escalation. A lot of the sequences are a lot bloodier. They're a lot more brutal. The characters are fucking harder and weirder. David Cronenberg's in this at the beginning, and I'm just always glad when I see David Cronenberg on screen. But all of it just really, really works. I had a blast at this movie. I wasn't expecting to. I really thought 7 years on, someone went, hey, we have this IP. The first one did pretty well. Let's just throw some money at this and maybe it's a shameless cash grab. But no. They actually put some thought into this one. And also, can I just say, I just heard this and I completely missed this. The directors of this movie, Tyler Gillette and Matthew Bertinelli-Olpin, are doing the Mummy sequel with Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz.
Oh, that's perfect. I think, and that's kind of, oh, that is perfect.
Right?
That's what I mean, right? It's that fun thriller action movie.
Yes.
It is not supposed to be a dour look at humanity and horrors and blah, blah, blah. Nah, man. I just want to see Brendan Fraser kick some ass and just be fun about it. And I think that's what Ready or Not is. I rewatched the first one before I saw the second one, and it held up. And you know what it is? It's a lot of fun. Despite it being a thriller, despite it being a sort of locked house murder thing, it didn't feel sluggish. It didn't feel gritty. It was just a lot of quick fun. And I really enjoy it. Like, I think I want more Ready or Not. I think John Wick can go to sleep. I think nobody can give up. I don't want to watch any of those anymore. I think Ready or Not is my jam.
Can I tell you what else I want, Bahe? Which I cannot find. I've gone looking for it. Yellow high top Converse.
Oh, can I
The
find
shoes she wears, that
Yeah.
shade of yellow.
Oh, really? Interesting.
I don't know if it was custom for the movie, but it's fucking cool. And I think that's the other great thing, right? Who would have thought pulling on a blood-stained wedding dress
Oh, mate.
and a pair of yellow Converse would be like donning armor? I think that was such a fucking cool moment in the hospital in this movie.
When she pulled it on and she stood up, I was like, damn, here we go.
Like, time to go. That was her superhero costume and it worked.
Yeah.
Like, it is so clever the way they orchestrated that whole moment.
I agree.
Oh,
It's good lah. It's good lah.
I
It's good
think
lah.
if you loved Ready or Not, and if you love these sorts of movies, this is a great time in the cinema, and you're going to have a lot of fun with Ready or Not 2, Here I Come.
Yeah.
Ready or Not 2, Here I Come, GOAT, now showing in Malaysian cinemas. Go check it out. Let us know what you think once you've seen it. You know how to reach out. We're on Instagram at GogglerMY. You can also email us on podcast@goggler.my or send us a WhatsApp on the Goggler hotline 012-524-5208. Thank you so much for listening. This is the Goggler Podcast.